Over, you're falling, and then catching yourself from falling. And this is how you can be walking and falling at the same time.
Okay. Welcome to another edition of Banana Box at Bikini Waxx. My name is Vera
Federico Molinari.
We're very happy to be here today. I was actually really excited about this invitation because I just love the format. I love talking about music and listening to music with friends. And we've been doing this together since 25, 30 years almost, sitting in my place or at your place, listening to music. And yeah, it's just a very wholesome experience and just a beautiful activity. So yeah, thank you for the invitation, Bikini Waxx.
With Vera, we are friends since, I think, 25, 26 years. And if I have to pick one person who I listen the most quantity of records in my life, for sure is with her. So, and we have a really a common story, a musical common story, and we share a lot of the same records in our collection. So I think it's going to be very kind of amusing, this session with her.
A part of that, we're also probably best friends, like family. So it was for me a natural pick to choose Fede when I was invited. I'm curious about your first record.
Yeah, me too. This record is one of the first records I bought in Germany. I think it was year 2000 in the record store Delirium in Mannheim. And it was still very special for me because it was one of the few records I bought back then that it wasn't really like straight techno or house or whatever. It was really like a little bit more breakbeaty, or a little bit, even the beat or the bass line could be a little bit hip hop or whatever. So it was very special for me back then. Even back then I didn't know which style it was, but I really liked it, and I played it in special moments because I couldn't play it with the rest of the music I had. Yeah, that's the story of this record.
And what's the name of this record?
Yeah, I don't know the name, but I know the artist is from Justin Barkovy, and the name is Night Tracks. I think even Night Tracks is like
a label.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's a Night Tracks number 6 or something.
It could be. I'm very bad with names from artists and labels, but the record is called The City Is Mine. That is exactly what the feeling I had when I arrived in Mannheim. So, yeah, now I know why I like this record.
Talking about Justin Barkovy, I think I also want to play, and I also brought actually a Justin Barkovy track that is part of my history. But before, I forgot to introduce the track, the introduction track, which is from the famous Laurie Anderson album Big Science. And I have this record because, like, in my first DJ set ever, I played Oh Superman, which is a famous Laurie Anderson track, and a lot of people know it in the techno scene also because there's several remixes. Not all of them are good, but there's a few good ones. But I played the original actually at the end of my set, and I did so in some special moments also, usually at the end of my set, because I found it very impactful and very emotional. The first party we did in Mannheim, the White Party.
You played it there?
I played it there, yeah, as the last track. Yeah, so great album. Okay, another Justin Barkovy. This record, I bought it when I started DJing, like almost right away. It was a track that I always heard. Well, the story is that, like, you know, before I started actually DJing, I was like a proper raver for like 6-7 years. And I would always go to Frankfurt to listen to Sven Fete to get my dose of techno and trance and other. And then on Saturdays, we were usually out in Mannheim, and in Heidelberg, where we would listen more to house. There was more house parties, but there was also this influence of Source Records, Move D, D-Man, that were doing parties there. So those were like, had a very big impact on me. And this record is one that always Sven Fete played. And I, like, when I didn't DJ yet, I was always going and looking for the records. There was a few that I remembered, and this was one of them. And when I started DJing, I bought it. I actually think I'm going to turn a bit slower because it feels better.
You can do it while recording, like when we play, you know. Also when we DJ, we do it while.
I still love this record and I still play it every now and then. And I really like this contrast of this like kind of harsh bass line, but then this like kind of spacious, like emotional melody is like really nice.
Very good. Yeah, since we are talking about the times in Frankfurt and in Mannheim, this is a very old record from Pierrot Premier from Force Inc., which it was a very known label from Frankfurt. And I really, really like it. I don't know from which year it is, and also I don't know in which year I bought it, but I can tell you it's a very special record in my collection. The sound of the record is very bad because, I don't know, like, for example, one track on the A side is like 18 minutes and the other track is, I don't know, like 4 or 5. So at the end it's like 23 minutes. You can imagine the lack of sound. But so sometimes it's difficult to play it, but still very good to play it.
Very nice record. I don't have it. Not yet. Yeah, I mean, I brought such a big bag because it was so difficult for me to decide. There's so many records that I kind of felt like I want to share and that are part of my history and like all these like phases. I don't want to call it phases, but all these influences that come over the years, like the 90s, the early 90s, where, like, as I said, I was very influenced by the techno stuff. Are you listening to me also?
Yes.
It's supposed to be a conversation.
Yeah, sorry.
So yeah, in the 90s it was like this techno influence where we also like when we met and I brought you to the first parties here, like that for you the first parties in Europe and in Germany was to Sven Feth. We went to listen to Sven Feth, which was one of my biggest influences in the 90s. And as I said, also the scene in Mannheim and Heidelberg, where I'm from, I'm from Heidelberg. Where Mufti is from, and with his label, this was a very strong influence there.
I would say it was my first big influence here in Germany, Mufti.
Yeah. I mean, for me as well, this, and then also the guy like Grover Klein and Seabase, for me, like there was this house part, like, so I have this house roots also, but also the techno, but also intelligent techno and stuff. And then in HD 800, this club, the local club, where we also had our first residency, which was run by D-Man, and Mufti was resident there.
And also Andy Baumaker.
And Andy Baumaker also, yes. It was a time where there was like this early minimal stuff, like the early compact and Thomas Brinkmann, and also the early Playhouse and Perlon stuff. And they invited like Swayzak and Isolé, and like, so I guess this is probably what I would choose next. One of my favorite Isolé that was like it was one of my favorite Isolé tracks, and also it's a Playhouse record, and Playhouse is one of my favorite labels ever.
One of my favorite labels.
No, it was mine first.
Probably.
It's Isolé, I Owe You, and I think it's some remix, like I think a remix from Isolé himself. It's always very difficult for me to stop music when I really like the track. It's very like Isolé. It's so unique, you know. It's like he has such a like character and strong handwriting in his music, and it's just, I don't know.
And especially this one is one of the most special ones from Isolé, I think.
Yeah, well, he has quite a few special ones from that time, but yeah. Yes. This is what I'm also looking for, and what I'm like sometimes missing a little bit nowadays. Like I'm struggling to find records that have this like very unique handwriting, like very personal expression. It's like
listen to my records.
Alrighty.
Here, this one. This the story about. I mean, of course, we have like a common story. And when I listened to this record from Isole from Vera, I remember like few things. And also, even I had one record that I always play after that one when we used to play together, whatever. But then I thought, okay, maybe I can also show some records from my early story before I met Vera in the 90s in Argentina. There were only a few years, you know. And then I remember back then it was so difficult kind of to buy records in Argentina. We had few record stores, but still we didn't have many records. The records were very expensive, much more expensive than Europe. So I had like, I don't know, 50, 100 records, whatever. And also I bought like CDs, you know, and there was one CD, one acid CD. I don't remember exactly the name. And it was so cool. And almost every track I really said like, I would like to buy them on records. And like with the years, I bought many of that CD on vinyl. And this is one of the records or the tracks, which I really, really liked it.
What was the CD? Which one was the CD?
Acid something. It was yellow for sure.
Yellow smiley.
Yeah, something. Yeah, now that you mentioned. Yeah, but I don't remember. Acid hits tracks, whatever, volume 2 or something like this. It was like a series. Metal on metal. Metal on metal. And second, I don't know, is Smiley is the, I don't know.
Yeah, Smile.
Robot Wars number 2, Metal on metal. Here we have it. Very easy for people like me. Yeah.
I also have a little side story to like what you said with the CD. When I was not DJing yet, in 94, there was this X-Mix CD from DJ Hell that came out, and like this was such a strong influence for me. And like I think like when I started DJing, also like I started buying every record from this X-Mix City, and I still play most of them, or a lot of them.
I remember that CD.
Huh?
I remember that CD.
Yeah, it's really, really cool. Yeah, and like I stay a bit with the influences. I also really like had a knack for like more like this kind of IDM stuff, but also a little bit experimental, more abstract, like yeah, I don't know like how to call it. It's like these styles and names and stuff. But so the like what I really, really loved was the I don't want to say band, but it's not a band. I loved Plaid. I think it's pronounced Plaid. I used to say Plaid when I was younger. And it's like I remember I had this CD again from Clear, from this label Clear. They had a compilation that came out in 97 or something, or 98. Again, I was not DJing back then yet. And there was like Clatterbox, Gregory Fleckner Quintet, Dr. Rocket, aka Matthew Herbert, Plaid, and all this kind of like stuff was on there. And this is how I found out about this, and like I was diving deeper into it. And I still today I just love this music. And this is a newer record from Plaid. Like I bought it like a couple of years ago, and yeah, has this kind of odd groove, like weird rhythm. I love this. Okay, but I'm gonna, yeah, I don't know where to start it because it's quite long. Let's just skip through it a little bit. Electron Gramophone, Circuit L, no, Conserve is the track name, complete. Voila.
Yeah, there was this record store in Frankfurt called Freebase, where I was working with my very dear friend Dorian Pike, and also with Ano, and of course Meat, because he owns the record store. And then there was always like, you had like techno, house, whatever, and then you had like one row like were like the special records, like a little bit like electro on the left side. I remember, and then I always the first records I checked always when I arrived in the record store. I mean, even before I was working there, was that row, And then I remember I bought one once, which I really, really liked it back then. I still really like it. And I think,
which is also one of my favorite records.
Yeah, and I think we bought it like simultaneously.
More or less, or independently.
Independently, exactly. And I think I didn't know that she had the record, and she didn't know that I had, because we played always different tracks.
Yeah.
And probably she didn't know that the track I was playing was on this record, and probably the other way around also,
Yeah.
So,
and this is a very rare record, actually, because it was a special edition, and I think it came out as a little extra in some festival or something. This is like something I remember, like that.
I will say, do you know what's the name?
In big number.
Because it's very difficult.
Yeah, it's very difficult to find.
Telectro.
Yeah, it's like a Norwegian, like.
Yeah, it looks like Norwegian.
Yeah.
It sounds like, and it's Dugnat.
Dugnat, yeah. It was not so easy to find, I remember also, but it's like this Captain Caliber, and I don't know what are the other artists. I actually had a track list in mine from what I remember, like a little like printed paper. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I think it never came actually out. I don't know actually how Freebase got to this.
Maybe we can show all the tracks.
We could. But I mean, you can show the one that you mainly played,
sure.
and I can show the one that I mainly played. It's always hard to stop a record as good as that.
So that was one of the good tracks on the record. The main track for me for many years, but also I liked the other side very much, and I also played the other side a lot.
Yeah, what I love about this record is also there's like this that is so reduced, but also so effective.
Yeah,
that's what we're talking about. Still.
そうしてくれ。詳細は後で話す。準備。
はい。
悪い話だ。準備。
はい。
悪い話だ。準備。
はい。
悪い話だ。
はい。準備です。
眠っているところをすまんだ。緊急の事件が起きた。すぐに一緒に来てくれるか。
はい、所長。できる限り急いでいきます。
そうしてくれ。詳細は後で話す。準備。
はい。
悪い話だ。
Yeah, the track name is called
How do you know?
Because I told you I had the track names somehow inside of the record. So let's maybe jump a little bit to the future. I was thinking maybe to just play something that I bought more recently. This one is really nice, actually. I already had it up. It's not super new. I actually don't know from which year, but maybe from like 8 years ago, 10 years ago, max. It's a GB within these machines, and I really like because it's also so unique, like also quite reduced. I didn't get to play it so much yet, but this is a record like, I mean, like when I listen to music, I don't know, I think like we're a little bit different in that. I always have a lot of images, or like some records that I like that evoke that they have like there's one image that I have, and with this one, it's like this melody that I'm kind of like chasing this one sound that is just like swirling around all the time, and I feel like in my mind I just want to try to catch it, but I never get it. And this is like it. I love this playfulness of this record. So.
Also, it's an album.
It's an album.
And
The album is really nice. Yeah. But this is like a track
records.
that it brings me a lot of joy because it's so playful and yeah. the chase, I would call this, but it's called Still Standing. Are you listening?
Yes, I love it. Okay, I could play this one because this is actually a record that Vera gave it to me as a present. Because it's one of my main influences when I started to listen to electronic music. One of my favorite bands was Orbital.
Mine too.
I know.
And I actually saw them live a few times in the 90s. They were coming to like really random, like in a very small, there was this club in near Heidelberg in the countryside where we used to go. What's the name? I don't even remember the club, but we always went there. Marco was a resident DJ there. And there was Matthew Herbert I saw there, Orbital live. They were playing outside in a park. Sorry, I interrupted, but this is like a story. And I remember that they were always playing with this glasses with these two lights. So this image that I still have in my mind, these two guys, when you would only see this like four lights basically and they were doing the live, which really, I find it really random that they would play in such a small town in Germany, but it was not big then, it was not big, the music then, the techno music.
And for me also, Orbital was a very good spectrum of electronic music, because also when I was starting, and you could have on an album from Orbital like electro, trance, techno, house, from everything, down tempo, ambient.
Yeah.
So it was a very good.
I also I'm very super. I still play stuff of Orbital now.
Yeah. So this track is a little bit like uplifting, I would say. Yeah, and I think Orbital was one of the common musicians or artists we had when we met that we spoke about.
What? So I was just like looking at this record and remembering stuff. the Orbital we had in common.
When we met in '99, was one of the artists we spoke about. I like it too. It's one of my favorites. Was my favorite too, and. I actually also brought 2 Orbital records, but I'm not going to play them now because we already had it. Okay, then now I was diving into this one. So, the story about this record is that
I heard it first time in, like, I guess when it came out, it must have been in 93, 94. Again, in one of the sets of Sven Feth. I remember, like, I was talking about Sven Feth a lot back then when we met. And I remember you didn't know who I was talking about because I said Sven Feth and you always called him as Sven Wat. Because the Spanish style. And also like then I was saying like Laurent Garnier and they were saying Laurent Garnier. I was like, what? We didn't understand each other because of this accent.
I mean, it was 99 my first ever contact to German language. I didn't know anything from German language, so not even from internet or something like that. So Sven Feth for me was like, okay, who is this guy?
Sven Wat. Okay, now we get it. Okay, so and like he used to play this record, and I remember it was always like making me crazy in my head, like super nice, like techno record. But I completely forgot about this record. Like it just didn't exist in my memory anymore. Also when I DJ'd, I was never looking for it, like nothing. And then in, like a couple of years ago, I went to record shop in Barcelona to Mad Radio, where Nico Etorena is working. And I was like I don't know, I just picked this record. And when I like listened to it on the headphones, I was all of a sudden like getting like such a goosebumps. And I was like, oh my God, this record. It was like, I don't know, like what, like a huge like memory like popping up and of all these moments. So yeah, and it's a really good record. I'm gonna move it forward a little bit because then comes the second part, which is, quite different. extremely hypnotic, mind-bending for me, at least. It continues more, and there's a few more little surprises. It's called Elements of Trance, a taste of your own medicine on Music Man.
It's called Elements of Trance.
Yes,
Okay, since we are in the
a taste of your own medicine.
since we are in the trance field, I will play something trancey also. Until you say the name, I wanted to play something different, but then I heard trance and I said, okay, we can play. So there was this this in the Groove magazine. There was this comic. It's called Hotze, no?
Mm-hmm.
And they did a compilation of like few parts, and there was one track from Mufti, which I really, really like. I really played a lot, and it's very Goa trance.
Yeah, it's so unusual for Mufti somehow. It's like funny.
Yeah, and I was always, we both always liked a lot Goa trance. Also, we met in Goa actually, and and this track, I love it, and I played it so many times. Something to say about this record?
I love it.
Thank you.
No, Mufti. I mean, like, I don't know, I could continue now the Mufti line or actually make a contrast because we haven't played any house yet.
That's I was thinking also, like, have a good house records play.
But I like context with the Goa situation. Yeah, we met actually in Goa in '99 for the Millennium.
No.
We met on Christmas. I know, the Christmas
25th of December, '99.
Yes, we met there, and Fede came with me to our house. I was there with friends, and he came with his friend to our house for after party. And there we had a tape deck, and I had my very, very first recorded DJ tape with me that I just had started DJing like 2 months before. And I put all my records on there that I had. And it was like, I don't know, from what I remember, it was like this Köpfchen on Perlon, from Markus Nicolai, then Maurizio M5 must have been on there because it was like the M5 that was Then for Thomas Brinkmann, Karin for sure was on there. I don't know, like... So it's funny, yeah. Because and the funny thing is, like, Feder, I didn't notice like him at first so much because like I was more connected with his friend in the party, and then like we somehow connected through the music, and I was connecting to you because you were always making the stupid funny jokes in the background. I was like, who's this guy? And then we connected through my mixtape, actually. You were very curious about this, no? Totally. What did you find?
Yeah, this is actually, this record was, I don't know the name, of course, Urknall, the Big Bang, and it was on your on that tape.
This is so funny because I don't remember this.
Yeah, and then like a few years ago, I don't remember exactly, but I was at your place and you were just putting some records away to sell, whatever. You didn't want them anymore at your flat, and then I say, "Hey, Vera, you cannot sell this record. It's part of your history." No, I don't want it. And then at the end, I took it. And yesterday we were talking on the telephone, and I showed you this record and said, "This is strange. I don't know where is my record." I say, "I know exactly where is your record in my collection right now." Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, so it's in the family still.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
It's all good. At some point, you give it back to me. We can listen to it, actually. I mean, it's also like...
Or the people can check it.
The people...
People can check it and on Discogs, whatever, and you can listen there on YouTube. And
I want to play this record. A lot of people know it. I mean, generally, like, there's a lot of music that influenced us that were like kind of like Secret Weapons and stuff that are now almost classics, no? So we kind of spared these ones, and we said, like, let's look rather for stuff that was maybe not like super popular or like not so common. But it's still part of our history, like records that really have like a meaning for me. That's what I was gonna, and this record has a very special meaning for me. Eric Küpper presents K-Scope. Planet K is the track. And I remembered when I heard this track for the first time, again, like with my, like this, I always have these images. For me, I called it the lottery track because it feels like there's this melody, dun, 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 like 19, dun, 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 like, and we were always like acting it out when the record was playing. And a part of that it has this kind of like, I always have this image of the lottery. It has one of the most amazing breakdowns in like of all the from all the records I have. This was the most amazing breakdown, I think. So let's listen first the lottery, and then we skip into the different part. So, and let's move forward to right before that breakdown. Yes, Planet K.
So the artist is Natural High Sound Environment, I think is the label. We will see. And I think it is the track number 2. Let's check. and so on. We were having now offline this discussion about what the style of this track. And I say that the beats are totally like our house beats. And of course, the melodies are like trancey melodies. Also some touch of house for me. So it's definitely not techno.
No, it's not techno. But the thing is, it's like this typical music from the 90s, which has not been defined yet by style. Like there was like this crossover of like, it was not like after that it was going to the different directions, or like where people would go more in this trancey, elaborate maybe this trancey aspect
There
of
were
it.
more common
and then
places,
more house, and then more like,
sure.
and there was like everything coming together. And this is like, I guess also what made it interesting somehow. Okay, this is a good, maybe like a good, I was just thinking what to play, but I love records that are actually like right at the sweet spot of everything that I like say house, techno, a bit trancey, a bit like it deep, but still with energy, not too happy, not too melancholic, like just like right in the sweet spot of everything. And one of those records I brought, because I find it, it's just like, I really feel it's like something like of my, like what my musical essence, I would say. And it's not about the track, it's about the vibe of the track, like how, just like how it just hits the sweet spot of everything I love. Well, I'm not sure it's acid, but like, let's see. It's really like there's not so many perfect records.
It depends for who.
Like, I mean, but like for me, this is like this. It's just like there's nothing to add and nothing to take away. It's like just perfect, such a round, perfect, like really nice. It's a Mark Broom, produced by Mark Broom at D1 Dublin Visitor.
This is Mark Broom's version? I didn't know it's from...
It's Mark Broom, actually. Like
never
the
checked the
record
name
that
of
we
the
like was
record.
also one of the first records actually we bought back then. Was the Donata Costello remix on, I don't know, it's this the red one.
Yeah.
But this one is actually better because it's...
And this one...
It's the other version is more dubby. This like...
From which year is this record? Remember? Or it's written? Because this is a repress, no?
This is the repress. And the original, I mean, like when when we played it, the Donata Costello remix was when, like in beginning of 2000. So that must be from before. I don't know.
Okay, now I will come with one classic, at least classic in my collection. It was one of the, I think, first, I don't know if first, but one of the few electro records or electro vibe records I had in the early 2000s. I bought it also, I remember, no, I don't remember. either was Delirium in Mannheim or Freebase in Frankfurt, the first Freebase. Anyway, what's the name? Balls, Take a Walk, no?
Ah, ja, stimmt. Das heißt, Sven Feth used to play this also.
Probably because it was
It's
huge
kind of
back then, this
electro-clashy,
record,
you know? Yeah.
I wouldn't say clashy.
Classy.
Yeah, more classic than clashy. But I feel sometimes I don't feel so, I don't know, so good playing in my DJ set like classics, you know, like, and that was a classic in that time, but still many people don't know it yet. But this is one of the records I like to have it on my record case, even if I don't play it really often, almost never, but yeah, I like to have it.
I mean, there's also like certain records that I always bring them, but I never play them just because, I don't know, they're kind of special and you have to either find the right moment or
the right people or
the right people. I don't want to stop yet. I still have so many records that I felt they are so important. It's really difficult to decide.
Okay.
This one, favorite album cover ever and really, really good. Okay, I want to play this one for now because just as an example how a record cover just really fits the music that's on the record, which also not always happens. I don't know if we can maybe zoom in. Maybe I can if this is visible. It's a Jeff Mills record. It's an album and it's like super surrealistic, kind of like dystopian, I don't know, like this city in the background and all these like weird creatures and it's like such an amazing cover. Like no, there's Aqua Vivas.
Okay.
And yeah, super nice. It's called Jeff Mills, The Jungle Planet. And I find the track also extremely surreal. The one that I like, I mean, the whole album is amazing, but the one that I play or used to play sometimes. Okay, let's try like this. No, but I really think it's fit. It super fits the image. Yes.
So then I will check this one is from our common bag, let's say, where we have some common records. And we were talking with Vera about this record because we always have this kind of not arguments, but discussion about who showed who the records. It's not about that it's a problem or it's a topic who showed who. It's about that we really want to remember the exact moment about when this record appears in our life, you know. And so I'm 100% convinced, not 99, that I showed Vera this record because I remember the moment. Whereas 98% convinced that it's the other way around.
I'm not convinced. In this case, I'm not convinced. I don't remember actually the exact origin, how it appeared. But I remember I was going crazy for it. Like I loved this track. It was like, yeah. But it's also something that you would not be able to play so often and so easily in every set. It's like, yeah.
Actually, I played it. I think it was year 2005, 2006, something like that. Kind of many times or quite a few times, but I'm not playing lately this record much.
But I mean, also because it's very stripped back, you know, and like this kind of like deeper stuff that is like so reduced. It's hard to kind of put into this more energetic vibe at the moment. It's like. Actually, like I did play it lately, but another track. You can maybe put like I think I showed this to you. This I showed you actually. Then I showed you this the other track.
Probably
yeah.
it's like this.
That's the beauty about like having records, because there's always the B-sides that you discover all of a sudden after 10, 15 years or something. It's
Unless
like unless
it's one-sided. So, regarding the record, is Creme Organization presents stereo.
Electronic is the artist.
Orga Electronic, Texas Brooklyn Heaven.
Yeah. And then the other track is this one. Little teaser. We don't have so much time.
Okay. And what have you?
The thing is, like, I feel we played a lot of like real, like old stuff, and I feel like I would like to make just one or two more references to something newer. Let's finish, and let's leave people wanting more. I want to play as a last record, a record that I really, really love, from a very good friend of mine that has accompanied me all my life. Not all my life, but all my musical life as a DJ, which sits right next to me.
Oh.
One of his latest releases on his own label. Hold on, Catalina. And I think it's a really great track. And I felt like thank you for our friendship. And for our musical exchanges. It was like we've really inspired each other over the years, and I'm super grateful for this.
And thank God, because this instrument of the double bass was my way into improvisational music and into my dance with jazz, which is sometimes very intimate, sometimes more uncomfortable.